Hi guys, so I'm going to start making these wardrobe doors today. I've woke up this morning with a touch of man flu. In fact, talking to the family, I think most of the family have got man flu. Lynn seems to be alright, but everybody else seems to have come down with it, so I don't really feel like doing anything, if I'm honest. But I've still got 2 of my 12-day Christmas videos to do. So, and I want to partially make the doors to finish making the 12 days Christmas videos. So I need to get my finger out because it's the 30th of December today and I've done 10. I've got 2 to do. So I need day 11 and day 12, which I think is the 4th and the 5th of January. So I've got a few days yet. All the timber for the doors are under the bed in the guest bedroom because I've kept them there so they're dry. I didn't want to bring them in here and store them in here because they'd expand and then I take them in there and they'll shrink back. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of a logistics. Bring them out, cut them, take them back, bring them out, cut them, take them back. I've got 6 door frames to make, 6 panels to make, and because I'm making them out of that parquet flooring, which looks really lovely on the face, there's the grooves in the back to stop them cupping. So I'm actually going to have to factor that in when I cut the panels out and the frames out to make sure that when I finish the door I don't end up with a groove halfway through something. So I'm going to have to suss it out as I go along. But let's get rid of the tractor and then I'll go and get the first pack and we'll bring them and cut them. I'm going to get all the components cut out first, take them all back in the house and then concentrate on getting the 6 panels made. Lynn spent a bit of time yesterday moving them logs around. So the log pile at the front of the house is going down and we've got more logs now in the terrace. So each door is 960 tall and 500 wide. And the timber's been stored under here for a good few weeks now. That, along with Mr. Chartouillet, Gracie's friend. Just bring them a few at a time since I'm not feeling too good. Okay, so these are some straight ones. I opened one pack and one of them were a bit cupped. Oh, it's actually bowed rather than cupped, sorry. I'm going to make the stiles and the rails about 50mm or near enough. And actually it's 60mm between each piece. So I'll probably make kind of that area there a rail with one groove centrally, and then that piece there I think I'm going to have to extend a panel. I think the panel is going to be bigger than 2 of these, so I think that piece there. So the first thing to do is to cut 12 rails and then put them through the saw, and then I've got the rails. I'm going to make them slightly oversized because I'm going to put them through the thicknesser to regularize them, but also I'm going to cut them today and put them back in the bedroom, and then if they're going to move around for a day or 2 then they can do that before I remachine them. And because I've just explained to you what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some tunes on, so I'll play you some nice music as well. So these are definitely going to need resawing and chopping.
If we go down there.
Down where?
Down to Trino.
Oh yeah.
Take the trailer and get some more of this just to tidy it all up for the summer. Because there's a lot of bare patches coming down.
Yeah.
It's a bit messy.
Okay, so these are the components for the door frames two styles, two rails. They're all slightly oversized because the door's 960. These are 2 meters long, so these are a meter. These are 500. These are going to need to be around about probably about 420 mil. These, I think, when they've finished. I picked all the really straight ones for these. Then I found 3 pieces that were a little bit more bowed in them, and I cut these for the short ones just to set the bow out. So the next thing to do now is put them on the table saw and cut them down and keep them grooves in. Cut that to that 55 mil or so. Right, so I need to set the saw. I've got a lot of sawing to do. Also, while I'm just doing this, I'm just keeping the eye on my figures on YouTube for the Small Barn Workshop with the 12 Days of Christmas. Today's day 6. I've released the how to make a planer jig today, so at the moment that's had 283 views. Yesterday's video's just gone through 1,000 at 1,069. Got these, which is a new one that I've not used before. This one, which is the one we used on the one that's downstairs. From the frame point of view, I don't think there's much difference. From the panel point of view, one's more decorative and one's bigger. So that's the one that we used downstairs in the lounge. That's a little bit more decorative, but smaller in it. What? You're not bothered?
Does it say? It's just me.
Three pieces, making a panel. Panel needs to be 410 wide. That's 390. So I am going to need these after all, these pieces. Okay, 440, brilliant. So I'm going to have to just cut them up as well. That's not a problem. Normally, for these kind of panels, I would stagger the grain pattern. So basically I'd have one like that, and one like that. But I can't do that because of these grooves. So I'm going to hope that these grooves do their job and not cup the board. Make them all that way round, like that. So I cut them all like that, and then cut that out as well. I'm going to have to cut that off. I'll just cut that tongue off that one, and then get them all into panel lots and then fit them. To fit them I'm going to use the taper jig I made. The battery's on charge for the saw. Unfortunately I've flattened all 3 batteries. like a plonker. So I'm just waiting to get some charge into that. I need to cut this one, put that together, and then I've cut enough for 2 panels. Cut the rest. If I can cut all the stock for the panels, then that can go back inside, and then I'll just take them out a panel at a time, fit the panels, glue the panels up, clamp the panels up, machine the doors, and put the doors together. Sounds quick, but it's, once you start fitting panels, it slows me down. In fact, if I cut these first, it gives the battery another few minutes to charge up. I'll cut the tongue off these. Good morning. I'm a bit croaky this morning.
Ceux-là sont très jolis.
Ceux-là sont très jolis.
Oh, oh. Chouette. Ces chapeaux sont beaux.
J'ai 4 manteaux.
Morning. So it's actually New Year's Eve and still a bit bunged up and cold, but I'm okay. I've had my first cup of tea of the morning and lit the fire and done my Duolingo, which is a little language app I do every day. Lynne's doing her yoga that she does every Sunday morning, and I'm just trying to get the house in order because we've got some guests coming later today. And I'm not going to give them this because I think I actually got this off them on Christmas Day. So this box is what was Lynne's Christmas present. I remember we stood there a few weeks ago. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but because you're probably going to see this in a few weeks' time. But I'll give you a little preview. That's part of it. So that's a project for probably the springtime, I would think. So just tidied the dining room up, and then now we've got a new light for the lounge that someone very kindly gave us. So I'm going to hang that. We've pre-prepared this evening's food, so there isn't very much to do other than open a bottle of wine and a bottle of fizz. I'm just going to take it nice and easy today so I can enjoy this evening. Right, I'll put this somewhere safe and then. Hi guys, it's the afternoon of New Year's Day. Hope your New Year's festivities all went well and your hangovers is not too bad. My New Year's Eve turned out to be a little bit more sedate than I thought. The man flu that I said I had 2 or 3 days ago turned out to be COVID. Me and the brother-in-law turned out to have very similar symptoms, whereas Lynne and Mark's wife Jessie were okay. Another member of the family who we spent Christmas with, she did a COVID test and it was positive. It never even occurred to me I might have COVID, but I did have a COVID test in the drawer, so I did a COVID test and sure enough that's what I've got. I feel okay. I felt really groggy maybe for a couple of days, but it didn't stop me spending 3 hours in here on Saturday. I didn't do much yesterday, to be fair. I was going to put that light up in the lounge and I never quite made it that far. I decided to watch a bit of TV and a bit of YouTube. And bizarrely, we spent New Year's Eve doing a jigsaw. So we've got an half-finished jigsaw in the house at the moment. So I need to come out here because it is now, as I say, it's New Year's Day. And I need to finish my 12 Days of Christmas videos. Day 8 went live today. I've got Day 9 and 10 are all edited and ready to automatically turn themselves on, but I need to do Day 11 and Day 12. And I wish I'd done them before Christmas now. The first 10 I did them all sort of first, second week of December. I've been waiting to do over the Christmas period. I wanted to start the doors, and the 2 remaining tips have come in from me making the doors. So I need to get on and do them and get them edited tonight, tomorrow, so they're ready to go on Thursday and Friday, I think. Yeah, that is the focus for today. I've got these doors to a point now where I can make them. Tip number 1 is going to be actually about making and gluing up the panels. And then tip number 2, or tip 12 in essence, is going to be about clamping them up, because I don't have enough clamps to clamp all the panels together. So I'm going to actually make my own clamps to clamp them together, which is actually an idea I've got in my head. I've used various ways to clamp panels up in the past, but I've got a little side project in my head to make some little clamps. So the videos have done really well so far, and I was really touched yesterday, New Year's Eve, with all the messages I got wishing me Happy New Year. It was quite eye-watering, really. For a bloke that was just messing about in his loft and now in his barn, I feel quite touched of the messages I got from you guys who watch my videos. Now, I do know some of you have made your way over here over the last few weeks as well, so hello to you here as well. But the video where I made the gate and the charcuterie board has actually gained some traction over the last few days, and I think yesterday I gained another 20 or so subscribers on this channel. So this one's growing as well, which is nice, which is a different feel, or the aim is anyway, to have a different feel on this channel to the one on this Small Barn Workshop, which is hopefully a bit more of a tutorial-based woodworking channel. This channel's a little bit more wider scope. In fact, I would hoping over this Christmas period, if I hadn't been unwell, to get back to a little bit of running and a little bit of biking to get ready for my spring cycling holiday. So some of that will probably feature in here at some point, because I need to get my finger out and get myself fit. I used to be, a few years ago, extremely fit when I was racing Ironman Triathlon, and actually now I feel very unfit, so it's going to take a little bit of effort to get myself back into the shape that I would like to be at. Anyway, that's for another day. Let's get on with this woodwork and get these panels made. Hi guys, welcome back to the Small Barn Workshop and the penultimate day of my 12 days of woodworking tips. And today I'm going to be looking at making and gluing up panels. Now, because I made my cutting jig for the Rage 5, I need to get the Rage 5 out rather than the DeWalt. One thing I need to do with this workshop is, once I've sorted the wall and the ceiling out, is to sort this floor out. The floor in there, which I cast exactly this time last year, is perfectly flat because it took a lot of time and attention doing that. This bit of floor in here, I just did it piecemeal fashion as we do in other jobs around the house. I had a bit of concrete left. I keep just laying a bit of concrete in here, and it's very undulating, so I need to put some leveller down. But I don't want to do that until I've got the side walls in, and then I've got something to pour the leveller up to. Okay, right. So there's my jig, and there's my panel. And my panel is smaller than my jig. And what's the chances of that? You'd think I'd made this jig for a specific purpose, wouldn't you? So just clamp my panel on. It doesn't really matter about the width of the panel. I'm only going to take a tickle off anyway. But all I need to do is make sure that the panel slightly overhangs. Just make sure that the panel slightly overhangs the jig, because that is the reference point. Doesn't need to overhang a lot. A millimetre or two is absolutely fine. And give it a tickle. It's component number 1. Right, I need to find my biscuits now. Still not quite unpackaged everything yet from the small loft because I've not finished things off, I've not created storage. I'm actually much more organised in the small loft than I am in here presently. I need to find my biscuits. I'm hoping they're going to be in one of these boxes here. If not, there might be in some of them Festal boxes. But I know I've got a packet somewhere. Easy to beat yourself up about things not being too tidy and the workshop not being finished, but if you remember at this time last year I'd just cast these concrete floors, and this was just a barn with holes in, and I was putting a window in. So sometimes it's important to look back how much you've done rather than chastising yourself because you've not done enough. Exhibit A. Looking at these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I'm going to have to put some smaller dominoes in eventually anyway because I've not got enough. So I'll use what biscuits I've got left and then move to dominoes later in the project. Biscuits are cheaper, I think. I'd have to just check that. It's a while since I bought some. I'm assuming that the biscuits are probably cheaper than dominoes. That's a good question, that. That should do. That's overhanging the end of the bench. I'll get a cut. This biscuit joint is amazing. I've done lots of work with this, and it was a Christmas present from my mum and dad 15 years ago maybe, and it came from, I believe it came from Netto, the supermarket chain, when there was in the UK. I don't think Netto in the UK anymore. I think Asda bought them. Anyway, digress. And there was £20, and it was one of them centre aisle tools that you see in these little Aldi kind of things. And because it's a biscuit joint, it's a bit specialist. I think a lot of people didn't know what they were. And my mum went shopping to do the sort of weekly family shop, and there was 3 of them in like the special offer. I think mum said they were £20 each or something like that. And so she bought all 3. So I got one, my dad got one, and my brother got one. And it's been a great bit of tool. Bearing in mind that I paid probably £600 for the domino, which in essence does It's the same thing. Domino does other things as well, but in terms of this panel glue, they do exactly the same thing. 20 quid's a bargain. That's the other thing I need to get sorted in here this year as well, electrics. Once I get the wall done, I need to get some electrics installed because I'm just working off extensions. I would love this workshop to be off grid, solar panels on grid. To be fair, I'm not quite sure how to do that. I suppose I could find on YouTube. But I think for the cost of outlay of getting this place off the grid, it's not worth it. I still believe that sort of solar panel energy is a bit too expensive. So there you go, guys, so there you go, guys, a quick video of how I like to make, fit and glue up panels, and I'll see you again tomorrow for the last video in the series. Bye. Right then, I'm going to go and put that in the house. I'm hoping that that is a wrap for this video. You never can quite tell until you put it into the editing software and see what it looks like. Good thing about this is panel 1 of 6, so if there's something I'm not completely happy with from a photography point of view, when I edit it, I've got another little stab at doing that. So you can come with me. I'm going to get a cup of tea and I'm going to put this film into the computer and see what we've got and see how I can edit this down to a 3-minute video, more or less. Okay, so this is a room that you don't usually see very often. This is my office where I do all the video editing, and this is our footage I've just taken out of the camera. So the first thing I need to do is import it into the computer. I do my video edit on this M2 Mac Mini Pro, and I keep all my footage on an external hard drive. Here is how I find out how much footage I've actually just taken in the barn. As I say, I'm looking for about 3 or 4 minutes of footage for this particular movie. I've actually created 38 gigabytes of footage while we've been in the barn, which tells me already it's quite a long video. Now, it's not all what we are going to view on the day 11 of the video, because I've made some other footage that I'll use on this channel as well, but it's interesting. That's going to take 25 minutes to download, and that's not because of the Mac Mini, it's because of this little hub I use. The read-write speeds are quite slow, but it does expand my Mac Mini quite a lot in terms of inputs. So we'll just have a cup of coffee while we do that. Okay, so all the files are now downloaded, so I can throw them into my editing software. I use a piece of software called Final Cut Pro. Would you believe, while we've been in the workshop, I actually filmed 53 minutes of footage, and I've got to get that down to 3 or 4 minutes. Now, some of it I don't need because some of it pertains to this channel, so I can get rid of that information straight away. That can go. Hi guys, welcome back to the Small Barn Workshop. That's the introduction. That's me doing nothing. Can go. That area there, actually doing nothing, so I can get rid of that bit. Right, I'm down to 35 minutes of footage, so this might take a while. I'll see you in a little bit. Hi guys, welcome back to the Small Barn Workshop and the penultimate day of my 12 days of woodworking tips. And today I'm going to be looking at making and gluing up panels. So here I've got 3 components to make a panel out of. Okay, so I've been messing around with this for about an hour now, and I've got the 30 odd minutes down to 5 minutes 30. Still a little bit of tinkering to do to get it ready to broadcast. So you'll be seeing this video, probably be seeing the one I'm filming now. But I'm going to leave this video here also because I've got about 100 gigabytes of footage to edit, and you'll see this video and then I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you later. Bye.